On Australia Day 2019, I flew to Hamilton Island with the owner and the rest of the crew to bring the Nordhavn 68 Sandero back to Brisbane.
There we go.
So the plan was to unpack and then do the shopping and get ready to leave the next day.
No use going to the shop there. There's nothing left on the shelves.
There you go, boys. Oh, look at that. I better.
Yeah, I put the Scotty in the front.
Nice of Hamilton Island to put on some Australia Day fireworks.
Well done.
So before we left, we went over to the fuel dock and put some diesel on board. Right, everyone, look out. So the loose plan was to do the cruise back to Brisbane over about a 7 or 8 day period, and given the forecast, which wasn't great, about 20 knots of easterly, we thought we'd go and hide in the passage between Keswick and St. Bees.
That's been around.
Mac tuna, I think. Okay, we get these stabilisers set. It's a great anchorage and we didn't need stabilisers, but we put them out because we knew the following night we'd be down at Percy Islands late and we knew there'd be a roll in that anchorage. So with these young fellas on board, it was off to have a fish straight away.
Yeah, I'm cutting it, maybe going that.
What's no dragging that?
Mate.
The world's smallest little rock cod.
Yawn.
A little sweet there, isn't it? Oh, it's a trout! Red emperor! That'll chew!
Hey!
Oh, what is it? Mackie! Oh no! Real hot
What's
bite!
happening now?
Oh!
Yes, mate. No, it's
A little Spaniard! Oh, the sea!
Oh, it's a bit rainy and wet, boys.
This is living!
Well, a couple of the fish did measure, so we managed to get a feed together. Here's Dan with his catch and cook episode. There's a nice sight. So the boys were rigging up their blue marlin rods for later in the cruise. But we decided we'd get out and have another troll before we headed off.
Oh, that's me!
Really? Bumper. Look at that.
I'll get a photo of that.
Slobs, aren't they? Great. Yep.
DT Buster!
Right, on again.
Colour. What, that's it?
Oh, that's it.
Nice.
Righto. Well done.
Yeah!
So after a bit of fun on the Queenfish, it was time to head back to St. Gero, square things away.
There you go, Jenno. Cafe El
Oh,
Zero
thank
Barista.
you. Have a nice coffee, get the anchor up and head into Mackay, where we're picking up another crew member. And of course some extra milk and provisions and the last loaf of bread in Mackay.
Good to see you.
We had a solid 20-25 knots of easterly,
Boys.
so it was going to be a bit of a long passage down to Percy Islands. Three miles off Percy. Righto, first time these boys have seen the A-frame at Percy.